and welcome to the Kongversation. My voice is dead, but I'm Chad McCanna.
I'm Hyle Russell. My voice is adequate.
And we are joined by Amir, a.k.a. One Falcon from Killer Instinct Central.
Hi, everyone.
And Steve, a.k.a. Laraco from Rare Gamer.
Hey, guys.
Hey, so it is a orgy of Rare fans right here in our room at the moment.
It's getting hot and sweaty, and not just because nowhere in Los Angeles has air conditioning.
LA is a shithole.
But we are fresh off of the Microsoft press event. I think that's what they're calling
Media
it.
briefing.
Conference, yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. And
Phil Spencer, erection
Dropping
giving.
mic-ness.
Yeah.
Yeah, erection. Let's not indulge that. We have guests on the show.
Did you not feel a little blood flow down there?
I felt his blood flow down there. It was positively electric.
Oh, I didn't see you on stage.
Oh, no, I was like...
It's strange because the experience in the room there is so unlike anything you can think of when you're watching it at home.
It is fucking surreal. You know, we've watched the Microsoft press conference every year since, 2003? And it's one thing to be watching it on your computer or on your TV. It's another to be there in person. And as you may have seen, we were all in the front row. Oftentimes, we were right in the same shot as Mr. Phil Spencer.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't sleep the night. Like, how much sleep did you guys get?
3-4 hours.
Yeah.
I actually got more because I'm from Canada, so I got 3 hours extra what I usually get.
Okay.
I'm going to be really mad.
Is that the way the metric system works?
Yeah, it's if you take a bag of bagged milk, right? You chuck it at a maple leaf. I think entropy exists beyond those two planes. So. But no, I'm going to lose 3 hours when I get back, and that's going to make me mad. So
yeah,
that's just
Yeah, I'm going through the same thing. It's going to suck.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, we were in line, first in line. Well, basically first in line.
There was a very interesting gentleman in front of us who, we lived in LA for 3 years, Hyle and I did, and I sort of came to think that LA is where stereotypes originate. This guy was the gamer embodiment of that notion.
When people say neck beard,
yeah.
To be fair, I think that's an over-exaggeration, but today taught me something. There's a truth behind every stereotype.
Yeah, but let's not go too far into him.
No. He was an interesting fellow, and we outnumbered him. He wanted to talk about your standard gaming media, like EA, Bethesda.
He also wanted to talk about Cambodian snuff films.
Not snuff films, sex films.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So no one died.
Yeah.
Something about a banana and cockroaches, which we were kind of tuning him out by that point. But the point is, we had him outnumbered. He was a little bit mortified that we were just talking about Rare for the entire time in line. We were in line for
It's like 3-4 hours.
3-4 hours, yeah. But it was worth it. It was definitely an experience.
So before we get too far into our reactions to what we saw, I'd like to ask you guys, we touched on this on our last episode, but what were you expecting to see? Did you have any expectations going in?
I think a lot of us who were reading in between the lines of social media, tweets from employees, and just some of the signs, they had the banjo statue out in the HQ before Phil Spencer visited in Kudo. So I thought we were going to maybe see banjo. Mm-hmm. If I wasn't going to pick an IP, though, I was expecting them to, Rare always utilizes everything the platform has to them. They push the limits. And it seems like this generation, Microsoft's all about their cloud Azure platform. And with this MMO, you see they're going to totally take advantage of that. This is going to be a huge online experience.
Is that how they run their online servers, is through the cloud?
Yeah. Like Titanfall, they had all their multiplayer through these Azure servers. Like the AI was run on these servers. Like a lot of it wasn't even on your console. It's just why they could do so much on their screen. So that's not necessarily what Rare looks like they're using it for, but just this awesome online platform to build this pirate MMO game on. So
spoilers, we hadn't even gotten to that.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I guess all I was expecting was them to push the limits and use everything Microsoft had to give to them. And when we saw that, I think with this MMO game they're trying to make.
That was a very vague, non-committal prediction.
Spoken
like a Rare fan, you've learned from the best.
As we were standing in line today, I think we sort of talked ourselves into banjo. It became kind of, and the kind gentleman who was in front of us was sure it was going to be Battletoads, and we quickly corrected him. No, it's not going to be Battletoads. That's a misconception.
Did you turn into a 1940s gangster when you?
See.
Yeah, it won't be Battletoads.
Hey,
It's gonna be banjo and nothing.
I think it's because I'm sleeping on gangster sheets.
What?
I don't know if you can see my bed sheet. You can't see my bed sheets.
These are like velour. That's
Yeah. I feel like it's more of an Italian mobster, but all the same. Anyway,
It explains the prostitute in the bed too, like
yeah,
the box frame.
the horse head. And,
I didn't even notice that until you said something.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. That was weird. LA does weird things to you. It changes you. It makes you a monster. And also, I think I've had 2 slices of pizza today and a bottle of water, and that's about it as far as my intake goes. So, and we are on 3 hours of sleep and a lot of caffeine. So,
please understand.
Please understand that we are not at the top of our games as we normally are. On the
Yeah.
But
it's always a flawless show.
We kind of talked ourselves into Banjo. I think Banjo 3, and of course, I still had the lingering questions that I talked about on our preview episode, where if Banjo 3 exists, why is ukulele a thing? And that was the niggling concern as far as fully committing behind the Banjo prediction. So I'm not trying to exonerate myself saying, well, guys, I was right, but that was in the back of my mind. But the rare collection, we kind of thought that, we already knew that was coming because that broke last night.
Thanks to GameStop.
Yeah.
So what happened there?
It was a retailer mistake. You know how Amazon usually lists stuff early? GameStop, had it like something called Rare Replay in their inventory list for something they were going to offer to sell. An employee took a picture of it, I think, and posted online, and there you have it.
It just blew up.
Probably a former employee at this point.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because EB Games in Australia put out Donkey Kong Country...
Donkey Kong 3D.
Donkey Kong 3D boxes, and Kongversation listener and personality Scrap69 took pictures of that, and that was our first inkling of Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, but of course there was denials aplenty at the time.
Right. It was very strange, that whole episode. IGN attributed the scoop to Scrap69 of DK Vine.
Yeah. But
well done, Scraps.
Of course, there's less turnaround. There was 1 day, so it didn't really spoil too much of Microsoft's plans. But yeah, Rare Replay we knew about. Of course, we had heard rumors about that for a month or two going into it, which we didn't really discuss on the show until our prediction episode. I think out of respect for Rare.
Yeah, I mean, the guy who told it to us, he sort of laundered his identity, so there was no way for us to attribute, and we're really not all that interested in these just unfounded navel-gazing rumors. It's just sort of police.
Hashtag I believe in Kevin Callahan.
Okay, but that's couched in knowing absurdity. Like, we're self-aware how
ridiculous. We'll find out tomorrow, Chad. We'll find out tomorrow.
But Steve, did you have any expectations going into the show?
Well, it's funny because I thought it was totally going to be Banjo, just starting off, but I also had an inkling that they were going to have something Rare related, just as like an encompassing their entire history.
Mm-hmm. Where did that come from?
Just playing ConnectSports Rivals, like there was basic Rare stuff in there to begin with on the outset, but when they started releasing DLC packs and stuff based upon like all the Rare licenses, I'm like, okay, they're really putting this in here. Like, you know, they have a lot of history obviously, but there's something they're hinting at kind of thing. Yeah. So when this game was announced, it was kind of like a, oh, of course kind of moment.
Yeah, and so let's talk about actually getting into the show itself. You know, we've covered waiting in line.
Covered Cambodian sex acts.
Yeah, that was a whole thing. Ultimately, we were led...
We know he's not listening to this because he had no interest in what we were spewing.
No, yeah. He started talking up Gears of War, and we made a crack about now with more beige, and this scowl cannot be described in words. Yeah. So we were led into the ultimate stage presence, and it's like, if you've ever been to a Ringling Brothers circus performance, like, that's the kind of sensory overload. It's just spotlights, blinding you from every direction, green just bathing every surface. It was a sight to behold. I mean, what were y'all's thoughts when we first walked in there?
It's like walking into a spaceship. I imagine that's what it feels like working in Area 51. I hope.
They have a lot of gamers there.
A lot of green.
Yeah, a lot of green, a lot of laser lights.
Yeah. Actually, my first thought when I went in was, oh, that's what these things around her neck do. Because you could see it all around.
Yeah, they gave us, well, they were cubes, Xbox cubes.
Cube necklace cube, yeah.
Xbox.
Yeah, with Xbox lanyards. And we thought this was like our official identification once we get in. Like, we belong here because we got these things.
Yeah, like there would be some force field around the perimeter that this thing would prevent us from walking in.
It turns out we were just human props.
Yeah.
Because we were sitting in the audience and they would glow up and color coordinate with whatever was going on stage. So as to give this greater impact on camera. And I didn't appreciate it being manipulated and used like that. I'm a human being. I'm not a billboard.
You were invited here to hawk what they're selling, and you don't appreciate
under my own terms. I don't appreciate it being bamboozled by whatever Don Draper wannabe is working in their advertising department.
Is that why Phil Spencer ducked when somebody chucked that cube at him? Because I noticed you didn't have one around your neck after that.
Wait, somebody threw a cube at him?
Yeah, I distinctly saw that, and it was totally you.
No, I still got mine on my suitcase down here.
What color did they light up when Rare went on stage?
I was too mesmerized by Rare that I did not actually pay attention.
Because like the Division was orange.
I think it might have been yellowish, orange. Kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everything was kind of yellowish orange at that point. So I think as close to gold as they could make it. We should talk about the new Rare logo before we really get into.
Oh yeah, that sort of leaked last night. Someone got a piece of swag, a pin,
which we are still desperately seeking those pins.
They're somewhere in this city.
So. We've got, we do have, we'll get into a little bit later how we got them, but we do have business cards with the new Rare logo on them, as well as some other swag at this point, but we still want those pins. But the new Rare logo is beautiful. Oh my God,
The blurry picture of the pin that we had doesn't do it justice because you can see on the business card especially, which Hyle has already posted to Facebook. There's sort of a highlight. You can tell there's a 3D rendering of this thing, and it's evocative of the original Rareware charm, the sort of rectangular rounded corners one, but it's modern as well. It's like the best mixture of old and new.
It incorporates their first Microsoft logo, just the golden R, the slanted R, but it also brings back the charm, and it completely sidesteps whatever hexagonal crap they were using for the last 5 years. So it's just perfect.
So I think one of you was explaining what the meaning of the hexagonal or triangular or whatever the shape. Steve, was that you when we were standing in line? That it was ultimately meant to represent, like the shape was the genre of game they were developing.
I don't think I said that.
Oh, that might have been Daniel.
From Rare Fandebase.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Daniel from Rare Fandebase, who cannot be with us because he is an Xbox super fan. What are they calling them?
FanFest. Yeah.
He's at the FanFest.
He lives in LA, so he was able to stay in line for over 24 hours to get into this FanFest.
He's busy taking photographs of Craig Duncan's shoes. So, we would all lovingly lick the dirt off of those shoes, but
it would be the best dirt ever, ever, ever that was licked off any shoe.
Yeah. But so, I believe, I guess it was him that was explaining that originally the idea was that the shape, the polygon that was behind the most recent Rare logo would connotate the genre of game, but ultimately it was only ever used for Kinect sports games. So they kind of defaulted to the circle every time.
Yeah.
Which I never knew that about the logo. I didn't realize there was a rhyme or reason. But if they can stick with the new one, this color scheme, this shape, consistency, it's pitch perfect.
Yeah,
Agreed,
this is the branding they need going forward into the future. It's old, but it points to the future. So,
I can visualize Conker leaning on this thing and shining it with his sleeve.
Or sawing through it if he never saws through the Rare logo.
No, the Rare logo is marvelous.
It's always marvelous.
Yeah. Gee, why didn't Nintendo ever sell them?
Yeah. They did kind of bite the hand that feeds.
Yeah.
But maybe by that point it was feeding less and less.
Of course, the first thing they did after they were bought by Microsoft was have Conker saw through the Xbox logo.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
Actually, which probably explains their relationship with Microsoft up until this point.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I think it's positive notes all around on the logo. Once we got into the, once the show itself actually began.
By the way, I got to sit next to the gentleman at the front of the line, so thank you for that, everybody.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it was a lovely bouquet that only got more lovely.
The aromas that I smelled, it's both tantalized and repulsed.
It only like a fine wine.
Yeah,
it only makes me more excited for what we're going to experience on the show floor when there are thousands of that type of person crammed into a single
Luckily,
space.
we won't be seated anywhere on the show floor. We can stay nimble.
I'm detecting floral notes of Cheeto dust. Yeah.
So the rare stuff didn't actually come into the show until I guess probably the 2/3 mark, but.
And the longer we waited, and it was ridiculous because the four of us were all sitting there giving each other knowing glances. Every time something new would start, we would all get lean forward on the edge of our seat, like waiting. There's a teleprompter. Interesting, you don't see this on camera. Of course you don't, but there's a giant teleprompter screen, 2 of them actually, to let the people on stage know what to say. So
and Steve, you first you leaned over and told me like how it was actually showing. Like, so how was that working?
Okay, so essentially there's a big teleprompter at the rear of the building. There's actually 3. There's 3, one in the center, one at the side, and one on the other side. And I guess they take kind of glances at it as they're presenting. But it's funny because there's points where you can script it. Like, if you're talking about a number of employees who have been working on a game for X amount of years, cool. You need all those numbers in a thing. But I remember it was that 1930s game. I forget the name of it. But
Cuphead?
Cuphead.
Cuphead, that's it, yeah.
It looks good.
I always try to remember that as hopefully there's a 2 girls expansion pack.
So they just showed Cuphead. And I looked at the teleprompter from across the room. And it just said, "That's rad" on it. And then as soon as he walked on stage, he goes, "That's rad." And it's like, you guys can't even have a natural reaction.
You can't, no ad libs. I did like when some people who were confident enough public speakers veered off a little bit and started inserting their own words. But there were other people who stayed word by word, like literal reading of the teleprompter.
Like the guy from Ubisoft Montreal said like bonjour instead of like good morning or something.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. So It was interesting to see how artificial it was. I mean, of course it is, but you don't realize that sitting at home. You just think these people had rehearsed these all night long, like pacing their hotel rooms with their speeches.
Yeah, and that guy in particular, I apologize, my voice is cracking.
Remember at the end of last episode when Chad lost his voice? Funny story. He got really, really ill after that.
Yeah, I was running a 100+ fever for a couple days.
And I told him he needs to at least get 105 fever so he can be an immortal monkey.
Right, but, only then will I earn the Karate Cranky Kong statue.
AKA dead.
yeah. But
that's when you get the Wrinkly Kong statue.
Right.
They put it right on your tombstone.
Yeah.
I passed away sometime between the E3 preview and the Microsoft episode.
Just very nonchalant. And a repurposed Clanker's Cavern theme will follow me everywhere.
People dispute that that's Clanker's Cavern.
It is. But hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Kudos to Grant for disguising it so well. Come on, he was doing so much music at the exact same time. I can't fault him for repurposing a little. But that guy in particular, the way he seemed almost embarrassed to say that's rad. It was kind of under his breath. He was like, "That's rad." Moving on.
I would have just gone totally like off chart and said like, "That's tubular, dude."
Mondoli bodacious, brah.
Well, the funny thing about that too is he's subverting it in that way, but as soon as he said it, it could almost be interpreted as sarcastic, like, "Oh, that's rad." On to the next one, guys. I guess
So, by the way, I did enjoy Cuphead. Like, there's some comments on the forum that people said, "Oh, Hyle must be bored right now. Hyle must be bored right now." Believe it or not, I enjoyed Cuphead. I thought that looked charming as hell. The blind girl game.
That was
tearjerker.
Yeah, like I was welling up. That was really cool,
and I've never seen a concept like that. That was just beautiful. A couple other games that I kind of enjoyed seeing. Yes, the nonstop war, beige, apocalypse. It got old and tiring, and we were cracking jokes about it.
It was just the one in particular. I think it was the Tom Clancy one. It was the one that took place in the post-apocalyptic New York, as opposed to the post-apocalyptic.
There was a virus bomb in this one, and I don't think there were zombies.
There was a moment in this trailer where it's your standard run and gun shooting, blood spray, and then there was like a 1.5-second clip, almost subliminally, where there's a guy who's already on the ground, and then they shoot him 3 times in the head for no reason, and like I couldn't see Amir because he was like one person away, but Hyle, Steve, and I just all all kind of like recoiled. It was like disturbing.
And here's my thing: if it's after the apocalypse, what are you still doing on Manhattan Island? Like, go to Jersey because it's practically post-apocalyptic there anyway.
Yeah, we've all seen The Sopranos.
Nothing would be different. Yeah.
Well, that was Beyond Sight, wasn't it? The blind girl game.
So I don't.
Yeah, well, I don't remember the title, actually.
Okay.
I don't remember many titles because that aren't vaguely pornographic in nature. Just because
Cambodia.
I was waiting for Rare, and I think
Cambodia.
it was amazing. My adrenaline before the Rare reveals, and then afterwards, my adrenaline just plummeted, and I was like, "All right, I'm ready to leave. Can we wrap this up?"
Well, there was always the promise of something else, but
Yeah.
What I was going to say about the Beyond Sight, the coolest thing about that trailer, and I don't think many people caught it, is she's walking down the road and there's a tree. And then as she gets closer, you see a sidewalk, and then the tree turns into a lamppost.
Yeah.
And you're like,
wow.
fuck!
Oh, I didn't
That
get
is
that.
her perception changes
Yeah.
when, and that's
That's sold it for me.
amazing.
That
Yeah.
sold it for me.
Yeah, and like just it's strange to be gushing about this one title, but I so appreciate how unique it is, and the woman who was presenting it, it seemed like a very personal thing to her, and there was some real genuine enthusiasm there that, you know, coming off of all of these AAA apocalyptic, you know, gore fests, it was so refreshing.
How many like bodies did we see blown into like, several different?
What was that one? He basically blew him up into chicken parts.
Well, yeah, there was that, and then they would like
Fallout 4?
it would like break the laws of physics and the directions the pieces would fly. You're just like, wait, what?
It's just splatter for splatter's sake.
But I also enjoyed the Minecraft demonstration.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not, that was I don't think any of us are Minecraft guys. Are you guys? Like, yeah.
It was just the tech that was interesting.
The tech, but I mean, come on, that was amazing.
It was really
the
cool.
The what is it called? HoloLens, yeah.
HoloMan.
And I think another thing that's also pretty cool, peripherally, in two senses, was the fact that the Oculus Rift will support, I think, all Xbox One titles, right?
Yeah, but it's not like it doesn't work with it. I mean, like it works with them, but all you're doing is your virtual reality. Like you're in a living room. You can see yourself sitting in a living room playing the game. So you're not necessarily controlling the game with your eye like you would on a P. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's not like you have a first person view of the game.
No, yeah. So when you play Forza with Oculus, when you put on your glasses, you see yourself sitting on a couch watching a TV that has Forza on it.
So you turn into a third-person video game character?
That's what they showed at the Oculus.
So I've always wanted to know what it'd be like to be a time traveler and watch myself from the bushes. That's terrific.
What the cool hope,
Without the
like the
masturbation,
potential
though, right?
announcement was the Valve VR. I didn't catch exactly what they're doing, but I think maybe that they'll use the Valve VR to actually make certain games use like virtual reality, first person.
I'm sure there's going to be more announcements coming that way. And the Oculus stuff I'm very interested in because, as Chad and I both established, we're Virtual Boy nerds. We've always had an interest in virtual reality. Growing up, we were promised virtual reality was the future of gaming, and then it kind of fell off the map.
We never got our flying cars. We never got our jumpsuits with the V's stitched on.
Hoverboards?
We never got the hoverboards, and it 'tis the season.
But damn it, Nick Arcade said we would be able to put ourselves in the game, and finally that's becoming a reality.
That's true. No green screen required.
Yeah.
But finally, you know, after all of this and all of, you know, reading the teleprompters with bated breath to see if there's something rare related coming up, finally Craig Duncan took the stage.
No. Before Craig Duncan took the stage, they didn't they just show the video with Joanna Dark, like the banner unfurling?
Oh, I guess was that the order?
Yeah.
It's all kind
Craig
of a blur.
came out for the new IP.
Yeah. He was the meaty middle between the rare sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was the transitions too, because they called it something else.
Oh, they called it Athena.
And we were like, Athena?
Yeah.
The fuck is
Just
Athena?
to catch everyone up, because I don't think we touched on this, but on the teleprompters, before they'd cut to a game trailer or anything like that, it would say, in red font, transition, and then it would show the game's title. So for Fable, it would say transition, Fable. And then you knew it was going to be shown. So they'd do like transition Fable, transition Machine. And you're like, okay, well, we now know that both of those are going to be shown in the next like minute and a half.
Yeah, and they had several of them back to back. It wasn't like as they're queued up.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was like Athena was there, and then okay, so this is something else from Bethesda or whatever. Yeah. And I know we're being very dismissive about games with a lot of effort goes into, but we're here for Rare.
Yeah. Literally, yeah.
And then Joanna showed up, and
Crowd went wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the most.
But it was
thing.
the N60. Wasn't it the N64 model, Joanna, or was it the Perfect Dark Zero model?
It was one of the renders.
It was the Xbox Live Arcade version.
Okay.
And that was that based on the N64 one? Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
I can't remember the order that the banners came down. I know
there's Banjo,
Battletoads,
Battletoads, Conquer,
Perfect Dark, Battletoads, then
Pro. RC
Pro, like everyone was cheering as
Yeah.
they came in turn, and they were all getting big reactions. And then when RC Pro-Am came on, the four of us just laughed, and there was dead silence from the rest of the room. I don't know how that came over in the video. It was strange because we rewatched a little bit of it, and the audio that we remember is not precisely the same as there. It seems a little muted in places, but. Like I remember
they probably muted our section because we were snickering so much,
making snide comments about their body parts blowing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the crowd was enamored with that, and the announcer, it was.
And there's cheers for Conker's Bad Fur Day when that banner came.
That
down.
was the loudest cheer, probably.
Yeah, and I think the clip was Great Mighty Pooh, right?
Well, that's the other funny thing because I don't think it was Dan that was talking, but it was another guy behind Dan in line. That he was discussing like Conker's Bad Fur Day. And he's like, Great Mighty Pooh, like that's the first thing that he went to.
Yeah.
And then with this trailer, it's like, here's what you want to see. You know, this is what you remember.
Yeah, because we were talking about how Conker was, people remember it for being this, profane squirrel, and he only curses like a handful of times. But it's actually a very dark, kind of depressing game if you play it to completion.
The last third of it is just a morose morality tale.
Yeah. It's all about the folly of hubris and. And yet people want to see the Pooh monster, and which is fine because both elements of the game are great.
I think Team Dakota has found a good balance between the profane bodily function humor and they're not doing really anything else, but it's not just in your face. It's a little bit more subdued than yes, you piss on Birdie, but it's done so in an elegant way.
Elegant in that they make a golden shower joke.
Yeah, but that's just better than like Pooh and Pee for the sake of it. It's at least integral to the plot.
I don't know. I thought Pooh and Pee for the sake of it was pretty funny in Conker.
Yeah, I know.
I just like to think there's some kind of artsy type in the office. Like, I'm doing this for the integrity of the bit, okay? It's a creative, artistic expression. Just like almost a tear.
That's probably Chris Seaver.
We'll put the Pooh in. We'll put the Pooh in.
Anyway, so let's talk about Rare Replay.
Yeah. Well, the announcer, the copy that the guy was saying over this trailer was about everyone has a favorite game, and I love how they framed it that way.
Yeah.
Like, you always remember your first time.
Yes. Yeah. And it was
Dad?
It was a very nostalgic. It was steeped in nostalgia, and for something called Rare Replay, right?
Yeah.
That was it's strange because we've heard rumors about Rare Rewind, Rare, and so I'm trying to solidify in my mind its actual title.
I know. I was trying to remember the title when we were right after we got our E3 badges, and a guy in a suit corrected me as he walked by. I was just like, I love this. This is like my nirvana, where I'm just like, I can misquote the title of a Rare game, and a random stranger passing by in a suit can correct me.
Yeah, and my immediate question to you was, did he have an English accent?
Yeah. No. He I don't know who he was. I hope he's on a DK Vine forum at least.
He's listening to this now, really disappointed.
Yeah,
it's probably MF Wolf. So, yeah, it was
Doom Kong.
It was a fantastic trailer, and I think it scratched an itch that a lot of people wanted to see.
Let's talk about how absurd this is. You get 30 Rare games for $30.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Including Nuts and Bolts and Viva Pinata, and it's all apparently on one disc.
It's gonna be a fucking laser disc, man.
Yeah, that or it's going to take advantage of. I think they have now a 1 terabyte Xbox One model, so it may just be like a huge download that's way bigger than the 7.
But we know
gigabit.
GameStop is selling it.
Oh, are they?
But maybe they're selling the digital code.
No, that's true, because GameStop leaked it. So.
Yeah, and it could also be, they'll definitely be selling a digital code, because why buy it directly from the source when you could buy it from GameStop? But yeah, if they do have a physical copy, it may be a multi-disc thing, because there's no reason why,
But it's still absurd that you can get Nuts and Bolts for $1. You can get Viva Pinata for $1.
PDZ,
Not a la carte, but for this, the way that they seem to be compiling it, I wouldn't want a la carte, because to have it in context as a whole as a history, an element of history, I think makes each individual piece that much stronger.
It is sad that they can't include anything Donkey Kong, because that is such a vital part of their history.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why,
Yeah, clearly.
But all the same, it's like that's the one thing. And all of these montages we've seen today of all of these rare characters, including Cooper and Amber.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not shying away from anything except Connect Sports. But of course, the Kongs can't be part of it, and that's a shame because they are part of the Rare family.
Yeah, and I know that here we are all unapologetic Ghoulies fans. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
We found our people, Chad.
We have terrible taste.
They don't even work on our staff. I mean, that's...
Oh, we're going to start some cross pollinating between our respective readership. I think after this,
For sure.
We found our people. But yeah, on all the press, the media assets and everything, Cooper and Amber are like front and center. They're not ashamed of Ghoulies. They're not even making tongue-in-cheek remarks about how poorly Ghoulies sold.
Like Nuts and Bolts.
Like Nuts and Bolts did.
Yeah.
It's so great to see them embrace what was well received and what wasn't, as just this is part of our company's heritage.
Yeah.
And we're proud of it. We're not ashamed of it. We're not ashamed because they were never ashamed of it, but we're not being told to shy away from it anymore.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And that's I think, I'm sure you're going to get the same shit talkers talking crap about their new projects, the direction of the company. But if you can't get excited, if you can't look at Rare today versus what Rare looked like a week ago, if you don't see the difference, then you are being willfully blind, but not in a charming way like that blind girl who thought that the street lamp was a tree. No, you are being just...
I felt so sad for her because there was a scary dog in front of her.
It was about to bite her face
I
off.
know.
It's okay though because he was disintegrating. So
maybe it turned into a mean child.
Oh, okay. That'd be
a barking
right.
man.
What was it, Recor?
Oh,
yeah,
Recor
Metro
was,
Prime.
Yeah, the creator. I guess there's some people who left.
A lot
Retro.
of people left Retro, yeah.
Okay.
So you see everybody who wants them to make Metroid instead of Donkey Kong, all the good people already left Retro.
Yeah.
You can use that excuse for Rare.
So, yeah, that was another one, just to go on a slight tangent, that I thought looked kind of cool. And it was neat to see.
Talking about dogs, they had
there was a robot dog that turned into a robot gorilla.
It did look shockingly like The Force Awakens.
Steve, you made a comparison that I think was dead on.
Which was that? Was that me saying that dog has balls?
No. You said after the trailer ended, when it finally showed all the robot figures, you said it looks like Cameo.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it did seem like you use these balls to possess robots that join your forces.
A game where you use balls to possess. Are you sure it's not a Rare game?
Yeah, actually, this could be something straight from the mind of Greg Mayles, but we'll get to that in a second.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, and then also the Rare Replay has like some new content we don't really know about. This new snapshots thing, which I just looked up while we were talking because I wanted to find out more about it. And it sounds like they added this feature called Snapshot. They know people don't complete games to completion, so the snapshot is supposed to be a little mini game, a little portion of the main game that you can play real quickly for a challenge. So it gives people a taste of it, is what it sounds like.
Okay.
So they'll take like a portion of the game and make it like smaller for you to just play like 5-10 minutes of.
Sounds like kind of like on Super Smash Brothers, they have like a greatest hits feature where you can go in and play.
But that you just play the start of the game and you're on a timer.
Yeah, it's not curated in the way.
I still don't know totally. We were like not really sure, but it sounds like it's kind of curated specifically made for
this will distill the experience of the game and tell you whether or
minutes.
not.
Yeah,
and we've also heard murmuring about bonus content, which I don't think we can get into.
We should get with that the thing that happened after.
What's that?
Well, we're gonna finish the E3 stuff.
We'll get into other stuff we've heard.
We had an exciting encounter, and that's part of that conversation.
Not a close encounter.
It was
the third kind. Not of the third kind.
There were 3 of them.
Of the best kind.
So it was a spaceship.
So there are 30 titles. Amir, you said you had glanced at a list of the 30. Do you at least know? It seems like they're all console. Is that right?
Yeah, we didn't find any that were handheld, right?
Yeah, I think there were some Spectrum at least, though.
There was, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad for that. There was I distinctly saw the Snake Rattle and Roll characters in some of the media, so I'm happy there because I love that game. I don't know why. I that's just one that stuck in my craw as a kid, and yeah,
not like the cockroach banana though.
Not like that.
That was the other hole.
And And I also, of course, Jet Force Gemini.
Oh man,
there were a lot of great 64 titles that are going to get reappropriated.
I am sad that some of the Game Boy titles won't be there. It would be great to have It's Mr. Pants on especially a game that celebrates 30 years of Rare. I want Mr. Pants on there. It'd be great to have the GBA Saber Wolf on there as a representation of the how Saberman, went into the modern era for a brief window of time.
Well, Banjo-Tooie is at least going to be there, so we'll see a bit of it.
Yeah, I am interested. We don't know how Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie are going to work. If they're going to be the Xbox Live versions or if they're going to be the original N64 versions, because they're going to have to do some editing on the N64 games because they're chock full of references they can't legally make anymore.
So I've got the list here. Thank you, Amir, and I'm going to speed through this. Okay. Battletoads, Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Cameo, Elements of Power, Killer Instinct Gold, Jet Force Gemini, Blast Core, Viva Pinata, Banjo-Tooie, Tick Attack, Battletoads, Coin Op, Arcade, whatever you want to call it, Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts, Jetpack, Grab by the... Ooh, that's just Jetpack, not Jetpack... Yeah, that's the original. Cool. We thought that might have been a rights.
The Ice Cream Man is here, apparently.
Grab by the Ghoulies, Perfect Dark Zero, Saberwolf, Cobra Triangle, Night Lore. Ooh, Night Lore. Gunfright? Okay, so Steve is like the expert of all the old school titles. Yeah. That's a Spectrum title?
It was actually in Grab by the Ghoulies. If you go to the game room, it's the closest one to the challenge door with lines on it.
Could you play it in Ghoulies?
No, it was that picture on a wall.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't think Ghoulies had any arcade. Okay, cool. Slalom, Viva Pinata, Trouble in Paradise, RC Pro-Am, Jetpack Refueled, Digger T-Rock, Snake Rattle and Roll, Lunar Jetman, Solar Jetman with a crazy subtitle.
It's Case of the Golden Warp Ship?
Case of the Golden Warp Ship?
Or Quest, no? I forget what the subtitle is now.
Yeah.
I remember the game art, it said Warp-Ship, but it was actually Warship. Golden Warship, that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
You no longer have to turn in your badge.
I'll take yours instead.
RC Pro-Am 2, I didn't even know there was a sequel. That's
NES.
And NES. And Underworld.
Yeah.
Great.
So no anticipation.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Maybe DLC?
DLC, there
Make
you go.
it happen, Rare. We want it. And you obviously loved anticipation because Rare recently tweeted a staff photo of recreating the anticipation box art, and apparently they were all jockeying for yellow shirt guy position. So,
and they actually refer to him as Yellow Shirt Guy.
Yeah, capital Y, capital S, capital G. That's his official name now.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't know if that was one of the Trade West titles or anything like that, but we would love to see anticipation, Rare. So that is just an embarrassment of riches for $30. Jesus.
$30, yeah. If you're remotely cynical about this, I saw some people say, well, we can play most of these games on the Xbox 360, and get over it.
10,000 new gamer points if you're into that thing.
Yeah, are either of you gamer points?
I have over 100,000. I love them.
So I'm not too familiar. Like I played the Ghoulies and the XBLA Banjos and I think Mass Effect and a few others, and so I saw the gamer points aggregating, but I never sought them out. How does it work?
It's just it's up to developers to add them to the game to make them. They make you play a certain way that you might not normally play. They'll make you collect all the things if you weren't planning on to, if you want to get these achievements. The fun ones mainly make you play a certain way you wouldn't normally play. Like, use this move this many times, where you might have used the OP move because you didn't want to bother with that move. But,
okay.
Yeah. I think for the Kazooie games, there was completion achievements for sure. And there was there a stop and swap achievement? I think there was.
There was, yeah.
Yeah, Nuts and Bolts had it,
Yeah, so one of the things we were sort of talking about is how not only will this game reestablish, Rare's legacy in the minds of everyone, yeah, and allow them to capitalize on that by making further installments in any of these IPs, but it could also allow them in a future Banjo game to play straight off of the Stop and Swap 2 that was teased in the 4J Studios port, and we don't yet know, and we asked some of our future conversants that we'll talk about in a little bit, whether or not those are the ports or from 4J Studios, or if they're ports that Rare made internally. So we don't know if that Stop and Swap 2 will be intact or not. But potentially it would be cool for them to finally pay that off.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And not just be a yet another red herring. Although at this point, hey, maybe that's part of the joke.
All right, well, that's Rare Replay.
Yeah.
Now, the big reveal was what they've been working on, with the most ambitious game Rare's ever done, according to Craig Duncan and many others.
Yeah,
And,
Greg Mayles was repeatedly saying, and several other people were as well, that it is the most fun they've had working on a project.
Mhm.
And it looks like it. It is Sea of Thieves. Not a new Banjo game, not Battletoads, as certain lovely gentleman in line with us thought for sure it was.
Oh yeah, he was almost like berating us with that quote-unquote
Well, it's going to be
fact.
Battletoads, guys. Come on. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, we kind of do this.
Why are you even here? Like,
It's like, if there's any area we know what we're talking about, it's Rare.
although,
so.
in fairness, our previous episode, we did say it was like an 80% certainty it would be Banjo.
Okay, well, at the same time, we said if there was Battletoads, it probably wouldn't be made by Rare. And there was no Battletoads. We still think something Battletoads is in the works because there's a lot of new Battletoads stuff.
Yeah.
Memorabilia, statues.
It's weird.
Yeah.
You'd think that Battletoads was coming. So they're announcing new first-party games in August at something.
Gamescom.
Gamescom. So I think that we might see Battletoads by another studio then or in the not too distant future. But Battletoads wasn't there, so ha ha ha. Not that I'm gloating. It's just like, come on.
There's a single tear falling down the Native American Battletoads fan.
You could even hear somebody in the crowd. They said, "Oh, it's not Battletoads," when they started showing their new game.
Yeah. And real quick, going back to the Rare replay, when that presentation finished, someone yelled out, "Thank you,"
Yeah,
and it wasn't
behind
one
us.
of us.
Yeah, people speculated it was one of us. I shouted out "Renaissance," but it wasn't picked up because they had shut off our mics.
Yeah.
And also because no one likes that hashtag.
Everybody loves
It's
that.
clunky.
It's beautifully clunky.
I think you need to go back to headvines.
Headvines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
So
and the time vine. Let's not forget
Yeah.
that.
so Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
I have to pause because every time there's a new Rare game, I have to start talking about any new game. I'm like, did I get that title right? Am I just mixing up my? No, it's Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Okay.
COT for short. Got to start the acronym going.
SOT?
SOT?
SOT. Yeah.
Yeah.
SOT. Yeah,
SOT.
I'm besotted with this game.
Oh.
I love it. A lot of I'm seeing some negative reactions, but I don't want to focus on that. I love what I see. This is, as far as aesthetics go, this is as Rare as it gets. Jungles, pirates, treasure. I mean, this is Donkey Kong Country 2. This is Dream. Elements of Banjo-Tooie. This is elements of Grab by the Ghoulies.
In fact, before they announced what the game actually was, the teaser image was an old pirate-looking map screen,
Yeah.
and you can see pirate ships on there. And Tim Stamper has been infamously teasing on Twitter that he's going to reveal content from the Dream SNES cartridge, and so I thought that was leading up. That was sort of helping out Rare to announce a Dream game. Like, I thought this was going to be Dream, but it wasn't actually that. It was so evocative of it, though.
Could you imagine if it was Dream? Because then all of a sudden, Dinosaur Planet, like, all of these games are suddenly back on the tape. Saberman Stampede.
Yeah.
You're just going to start remaking canceled games.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, up next would be that. What was that one? I think one of you was telling us about it in line. It was a canceled Chris Seaver, Chris Alcock project.
Oh, Ordinary Joe.
Ordinary Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the survival horror game.
Yep.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
I have it up on my site.
Okay.
I think he's disclosed about it before.
It's on
so.
Unseen 64. Yeah.
Oh, if it's there, it's everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, if that were the case, then the doors would be blown off their archives. But
Right.
maybe that's a good thing because that would just lead to unhealthy expectations moving forward.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, so Sea of Thieves, it is an MMO, it looks like, right?
We know it's online, but
We don't know for sure. Wait, we don't know if there's a single player aspect. If it's only online.
It's definitely co-op, at least.
At least.
yeah, I mean, the way that it looked, it seemed like there were at least 4 people on one pirate ship and
Another 4.
and
so
another
people-
4 on another
yeah.
ship that rammed it perpendicularly. But
Okay,
that's a pirate term.
Donkey
What,
Kong
Randy
Country 2,
Perpendicular?
as I shamefully told somebody we had a meeting with later on, Donkey Kong Country 2 and other Rare games made me a lifelong fan of pirates and nautical themes, and this game scratches that itch so hard. And I think I don't know how you guys felt watching it, but when a human, because at first it was first person, and I love the message at the beginning. All of this game, it was captured with in-game footage.
Yeah, because you know you're in for a treat. If they want you to understand that up front, you're about to look at something.
Please
gorgeous.
understand, but in a good way.
There wasn't a cutscene in the whole thing either, even if it was in game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was first person, and you were walking through this jungle. And so
with epic music, Robin Beanland.
Yeah, we know that Beanland is doing the soundtrack. That was confirmed for us later.
Yeah,
but
well, you said he was a chameleon, and he's so eclectic.
So you're thinking, is it first person for a reason? Is it they're going to be the reveal where it's Banjo and Kazooie going through this jungle? Like
an FPS Banjo.
Well, no. But if they're being cheeky about the reveal,
Oh yeah.
But if there was like a first person mode that you go into, but when a human ran by, I was kind of crestfallen. I was like, okay, it's a new IP. And then I quickly got that out of my system when these pirates ran down. And I didn't even know they were pirates at first. I should have guessed it with the music, but my brain was too scattered at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
They ran down through the trees and got to the shoreline, and there was a massive pirate ship there.
So what was the experience that you guys were going through as we were watching this?
It's funny because I was turned toward the screen there, and I could see you just slowly losing your shit.
Mm-hmm.
So just seeing you kind of react there, and I turned back toward the screen. At that point, everything was slowly being revealed, and I just got more hyped and more hyped and more hyped. And I don't even think the hype ever left. It just got more and more built up. So all that
was there anything in particular that like stood out in your memory? Because I mean, it's all kind of a blur, but
yeah. When they cut away from the first beach, well, the reveal of the pirate ship was crazy. But as soon as they were like on the deck of the pirate ship, I was like, oh god, the sea goes forever. Oh god, the waves. Every drop of water is. And I just. My mind was going 80 miles a minute, as it is now.
California's going through the water shortage, so they probably were at a loss for what they were seeing.
There you go.
Yeah, they were the water was so beautifully rendered. There were people that likely wanted to drink it.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but the Pacific Ocean is dried up right now.
Yeah, there's no more ocean. We can just walk to North Korea.
The Atlantic is full right now, but the Pacific, nothing. It's not like they're all connected.
Yeah, it's probably because they blew up the moon. That was
too soon.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was untoward. Amir, what was your reaction?
I think within the first seconds, I was like, okay, first person, Perfect Dark, and then after like another couple seconds, okay, no, new IP, and the music was going, and I think I was there the whole time. Definitely the hypest moment was kind of the
hypest.
Oh man,
the moment.
Hypest.
Yeah, you've certainly taken on the internet vernacular of the day.
Was the moment
we use old-timey terms on here, old gangsta terms.
It was the most corking moment I saw.
Splendid. It was the moment Steve was describing. I think right when you saw yourself get on the ship, like, well, you see the ship and you're like, wait, can I get on that? Like, how far am I going to get to go with this whole pirate thing? And yeah, they open with you on the ship and the waves crash. And I heard other people in the crowd near us just gasp. Like, it was just like breathtaking.
I didn't hear gasp. I just heard panting of the guy next to me. I think like he was having a Cheeto overload.
Yeah, that nacho cheese will do you in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and the pirates popping out of the sand when he was about to get the treasure too was, I don't know, there's just so many
skeletons.
The skeletons, yeah.
In fairness, I think they were pirate skeletons.
But still, yeah, I don't know.
Not zombie pirates.
That was made abundantly clear to us later that they're...
With all due respect to grab by the ghoulies.
Should we get on that, or...?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so this reveal, we were... like I said... my adrenaline immediately died. I was like, all right, ready to leave now. And then Phil Spencer at the end showed up wearing the new Rare logo on one of his T-shirts. And he didn't have any T-shirt changes this time around.
Yeah, it was a tease. He had the hoodie on earlier.
You can see gold.
You can see a little bit of gold, and you don't know if that's a Jiggy or the Rare logo. We don't know what it was. But yeah, then ultimately that came off. And there was... it's almost a stronger statement because there was no final Rare game announcement, that was playing into. It was just, of all the things you saw, Rare was the one that he wanted to rep at the very end of the show.
And that is why he is Saint Phil Spencer.
Yeah. So thinking about like my thoughts on the game that were ultimately assuaged later is... I mean, it visually it looked great. I loved, I was picking out some of the gamer tags. There was Grogmails89. There was the Real Beano, which is Robin Beanland's Twitter handle. But the one thing that sort of, it didn't make me skeptical, but it was something that I hoped to see in the future, was that while it looked like an incredible, pirate adventure in the vein of Donkey Kong Country 2, of what we've seen of
Monkey Island, predating
Rare,
Rare, but obviously an influence on
Rare. It definitely seemed like a Monkey Island 2 kind of game, but in spirit, not in gameplay, of course. I didn't see the sense of humor that you get from a Rare game, but later on, Amir, you made a close contact that you immediately like called us and said, "Guys, get over here."
For context, we went to get our E3 badges for the actual show on the convention floor tomorrow. So luckily we got there before the line ballooned.
Yeah.
I think most people were going to get lunch after the Xbox conference or event or whatever it is.
It was breezy. It was maybe 30 seconds and we got our badges.
It was so nice, and our badges say DK Vine on them. It's really sweet. You got your Killer Instinct Central badge. It's really cool to see. So we got our badges, and then Amir, you kind of disappeared on us.
Yeah, because you had a special access.
Yeah, I had the media, like the media representation badge, and that was in the other part of the convention center.
Yeah, it's apparently you see pictures of the LA Convention Center, and it looks like one building, but there's a part of it that goes over a freeway to another section of the building.
Not a freeway, it's just
it's Pico Boulevard, but it's like a
major thoroughfare.
It's a 6-lane highway, maybe not an elevated freeway.
It's LA though. I mean, they're all 6-lane.
It's part of. It goes over a massive piece of the concrete jungle.
Okay. And to be fair, Helmos told us it was bifurcated like that, but we just didn't pick up.
We didn't listen. Yeah. We didn't listen. And the convention center just goes on. So Amir, you were at another section of the convention center.
Yeah. So I got my badge, and as I'm heading out, I saw someone with this Battletoads foam finger hand, and I was like, the collector in me, I got to find out where he got that.
But by the way, we never established this on the show because this is his first time on the Kongversation. Amir has a ridiculous collection of rare memorabilia. It's sickening.
It might be the biggest. I applied for Guinness World Book of Records. So
did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would they get that specific?
They would, because we've seen.
They replied though. Well, we have it on our records here that everybody good at Rare left in 2002.
Yeah, there's like biggest Tomb Raider collection, biggest Sonic collection. So I don't see why there couldn't be biggest Rare collection.
I think pool together.
Yeah.
The thing is that'd be hard to quantify though. Like how do you?
Is another collector side, like he had the biggest Nintendo merchandise collection. They go there, they get a clicker item one by one. They just click it like item,
regardless of the significance of it.
Regardless of significance, yeah.
Okay, because what I love about your collection,
that must be a soul sucking job
to be the Guinness tabulator. Yeah. But what I love about your collection is that it's not just things you can buy off the shelves. There's a lot of stuff that you have gone way out of your way to track down.
We thought you were on their Christmas card list.
Yeah. Turns out you just stole Christmas cards from people who are on their Christmas card list. Or maybe, coerced them to hand them over. So that collection's impressive. So
I saw him with this Battletoads finger. Someone standing there. I was like, I got to get that. So I walked up to him and asked where he got it. And he had a British accent. And he's like, you can have this. And I was like, I want to take this from you. Like, I want to give mine up to anybody, Yeah. And he's like, no, don't worry. I have it. Like, I can get a ton of them. I'm like, what are you here for? And he's like, I'm part of Rare. And it turned out to be Joe, who is, I don't remember his title, but he's pretty high up in designing or producing the new Sea of Thieves.
Joe Neat, executive producer.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's who it turned out to be. And he's like, I'm here with Rare. And I turn around and Mike was there. And Mike turned out to be lead designer of Sea of Thieves. And
we're not looking these up in real time or anything.
Yeah.
It's a lot of information to process.
Yeah.
So what if we are?
It's been a crazy fucking day.
Yeah.
And then there, of course, is Greg. And Craig, all three of them.
Greg Males.
Greg Males, yes.
Who needs no introduction because he's Greg Males.
Banjo's dad.
Yeah.
Banjo's dad. So I'm talking to him about the game. They're not, they can't really say much. So there's only so many questions I could ask and wanted to ask because I didn't want to be rude because I can't comment. But they were super nice, super cool guys. Talked a little bit about just E3 and the convention, how long they're going to be here for. And I was like, I don't want to bother them anymore. I looked like they were waiting for something. So I left. But as soon as I got outside, I called Chad up or Hyle, and I was like, guys, you won't believe it. I just saw Greg. You got to get over here.
And so to give you some context on the other end, when I picked up the phone, I was like, oh, thank God. Because there was a guy who meandered over to us, and we were talking about like what we do on DK Vine, And he said, "Oh, so what do you think Nintendo's going to show?" And we're like, "Well, the big question mark is what Retro's going to show. We know that it's probably not going to be a new Donkey Kong." And he was like, "Oh, good. I hope it's a new Metroid." And I was like, "Oh, okay." One of these people was like, "Oh, it's Amir. Hey, what's up?" And then you said, "Get over here because it's Greg Males and Rare Guys, and come talk to them." So we basically about-faced. And
we bolted.
Yeah.
You guys got there really quick. I thought it was going to be another couple minutes, but
we weren't sprinting or anything.
Yeah, it was, but it was a quick pace.
Yeah.
We didn't want to. I mean, I'm sure the LACC has pretty high security. We didn't want to set off any bomb raids or anything.
We almost pissed off one guy. I don't know. He redirected us. We stepped too close to his bar or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, it was some probably food truck thing trying to whatever. Yeah. We got there, and unfortunately, it was still barred to anyone who didn't have the media access.
No, the exhibitor, right?
Well, no, Amir has this special media.
Media.
Right, but then they kick you out eventually too?
Once I got to a certain point.
Oh, okay.
But you could still go up the escalator.
Yeah.
But the thing is, their security was so lax, we almost got to the escalator before they stopped us.
Yeah, there was a woman just kind of yelling to no one in particular.
No, you can't be in here.
Turn around.
Badge, please.
No, wait, stop.
Yeah, and we voluntarily turned around.
Because we are too nice, and we're not aggressive enough.
Keep in mind, we're looking up the stairs at the three really prominent Rare dudes that we want to see, and it's like, you think this woman's gonna keep this from us? No,
you don't understand. We're influencers. So Amir, you went up the escalator and you fetched them for us.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So what was that conversation? Because we were watching it nervously.
I was looking out the window. I couldn't even watch. I was just
fronting for a friend on a date. Hey, I got a friend over there.
Sheepishly kicking my feet on the floor.
Really wants to talk to you. Could we?
I'm a nice guy.
I was just like, oh, my buddies from DK Vine and Rare Gamer are down there. Like, oh yeah, we know those guys. I was like, they really
seriously?
Like to talk. Yeah, I said
Did they actually say that?
They really did. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Did you hear that, folks? They've heard of us.
A real site that actually exists.
Yeah.
And so, they came down the escalator. Yeah, and you guys.
Yeah, and we talked for a good 15 minutes.
We shook their hands, and then we. God, it's all blur.
So what I was getting to about the game though is ultimately we spent a lot of time because all three of these guys are on the Sea of Thieves team, and so that was primarily what they wanted to talk about.
They can't talk much about Sea of Thieves. We should get out in the open.
It's early days. And in any game questions about Rare Replay, they wanted to sort of refer us to the Rare Replay team, who is in attendance and will be there on the show floor,
which we'll be able to talk to, I'm sure, in the coming days.
Tonight at Xbox Showcase.
Oh, great.
Daniel did say that it's going to be there for us to play.
Perfect.
So there you go. Put on your Sunday best, guys.
So we knew we weren't going to get much out of them, but we at least wanted to engage them because holy crap, these are Rare people.
I mean, just Greg Males, but yeah, both both Joe and Mike were both super awesome as well.
They were so enthusiastic, so conciliatory and helpful, but
I don't think we were that off-putting, honestly.
not too much, or at least they disguised their revulsion
very well.
No, I think. I mean, I am projecting here, but I hope they were kind of touched by how much we outpoured about how much we love their work. I mean, it.
Yeah, so I asked them, the same sort of thing that I mentioned earlier about how the trailer, it was like a concept launch trailer. It didn't really show you the sense of humor. And so I just asking, knowing what the answer was going to be, will there be the signature Rare sense of humor? And they were like, yeah, kind of beyond a doubt, that's going to be in the game.
All right, so guys, we also asked them, just get this out of the way, we asked them, would it be possible if you could maybe sneak Royston, Captain Black Eye, a pre-existing Rare Donkey Kong Universe character? And yes, we explained the Donkey Kong Universe. Chad did. I was too.
You were mortified.
I was mortified. I was like, Chad, no.
I talked to Greg
a bridge
Males,
too far,
and I told him how we are a character-based website that covers games spawning out of Donkey Kong Country and largely Diddy Kong Racing, and he looked at me as I was saying these things and nodded his head.
After rolling his eyes.
you would to a crazy person, yeah.
And so ultimately I ended after about 20 seconds on, so it'd be really great if Captain Black Eye was in the game. And he just kind of sort of nodded, just acknowledging that I had said something, not committing to anything, but at least I've planted the seed.
He did say, and I think I'm at liberty to say this, he did say it wouldn't be a Rare game without references.
That's exactly.
He did say that.
Without references.
Guys,
dot.
I changed it. I changed it on the forum. I was trying to browse the forum. We didn't have like any time to update things with news because there was no place to stand. We were running low on battery power. But I did update the DK Vine forum to change the subtitle to non-DKU game to possible DKU game.
Yeah. I don't. If you look at games like Destiny, which I think is the closest analog MMO that we currently have. It's like the closest comparison I can think to draw.
Assuming this is a full-fledged MMO.
Assuming. The way they kind of do that is that there are these events that are scripted that sort of occur like on a discrete basis. They're not ongoing stories, but when that thing happens, everyone who's playing the game sort of reacts to that, and stories evolve based on the interactions that everyone has in aggregate. So if there was something like that happened, there would be plenty of opportunity for Rare to inject its, signature style into this thing.
What we were talking about before we met up with these guys was we made a joke how it could be Royston is like this massive goldfish.
So yeah, Steve, this was your pet idea.
Yeah, so basically I thought, wouldn't it be great if Royston was just a boss in the game? Like, just this massive, almost like the bottom of the depth land.
Sea beast, yeah.
Yeah, like a
Lord
Kraken. Wufak or something, just this massive underwater. And the way that he signals that his presence is like Jurassic World, where, it's 3 pounds, and it could be the pounding of his goldfish, the bowl. So I think that would be interesting.
But I said, assuming this game takes place in the past, at the in the golden age of piracy, then maybe it would be Royston's great grandfather. I don't know how long rare goldfish live, but
endless.
They seem indestructible.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just his grandfather. But it would be great if it was that not Royston but an ancestor, and we had to invoke the Pepito Kong rule in our DKU legalese, which I know, Saf, you're going to be listening to this, so there you go. We could pull the Pepito Kong card at long last.
But it's it's likely that there could be a Mr. Ribs reference in here. I mean, he's
Mr.
a skeleton.
Ribs.
I tried to get that for you in the canon because I'm like, he's related to Mr.
We got to talk
Ribs.
about Captain Bones a little bit, guys. Right now, I know there's a lot of you out there who are disappointed this is not a returning IP, and there's a lot of you who are disappointed this is not going to have the same Rare style of humor that you're hoping that a new IP would have. I would lay both to rest. I think this is going to be connected to Rare's past. It's also going to be full of Rare humor. I think the talk we had with Greg and the other guys was just so reassuring. We were already excited about the game before that, so we're not just being shameless bootlickers.
It is a bit strange, and I'm glad that we got to experience this one in person at the show, because in a way you feel like you've drank a little bit of the Kool-Aid, because the enthusiasm is really, you want to be a part of it. You want to participate. But
you got to be polite for the first thing. Well, I was clapping at everything, even the apocalyptic war games.
The third one you saw.
Yeah, I was doing the sarcastic, second place in Smash Brothers clap at the end. But
the Hall of Fame clap, we have that Matt Cornin device.
Yay! But with this game, we were all genuinely enthused about it. There was like a moment of where we sort of felt crestfallen, or at least Hyle and I don't want to speak for you guys, because we all sort of went into it expecting a returning IP more.
We talked ourselves into Banjo in a few hours, so
which I mean, they all returned basically, right?
Yeah,
in a way, but not in a new adventure that we're
right,
expecting.
Right.
Ports are one thing, exact ports are another. You get excited about it, but it's just kind of like partial excitement. Like Rare Replay looks great. I can't wait for it. I'm gonna play the hell out of it.
Yeah.
It's just not a new game.
But this, seeing it, we sort of realized that there's a lot of exciting untapped territory that they can visit with this game, and I'm really excited to see what they do with something new. And
guys, this is not Connect Sports fourth quarter. I think you got to put it into perspective. The same argument we made when Team Dakota announced Conquer was going to be in Project Spark. What else are we? I mean, before this, we didn't have any new Rare IP coming. Before Project Spark, we didn't have any new Conquer content. Conquer was dead. I mean, There's a fine line between being critical and being so cynical that you're depriving yourself of an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, and that's not to say the value of this is that it exists.
No, absolutely not. But like, this is so far closer to classic Rare than anything we've gotten in 5 years.
Yeah, so
I don't see the issue here.
So Hyle, there's something that you were talking about with Greg. Greg, I call him Greg.
We call him Greg now. G-Baby.
Yeah. That I thought was pretty,
G-R Eggy Egg.
pretty telling.
Yeah, he kind of frowned at you when you called him that.
Yeah, he was not a fan.
Not amused.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Greg Egg.
He's formal.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about how much we love the pirate elements in their past games, and and he basically said that was me. Greg himself, like he's been the pirate fan who's been pushing for this.
That
all this
was
time.
me in the basement, sweating cobwebs on TV,
making pirates in a game. That was me.
There's your Beatles reference for tonight.
Yeah. Well, Paul.
I do.
So yeah, you said. What did you say to him?
I said I owe my lifelong obsession with pirates and all things nautical to you.
Yeah, and it's funny because he could probably turn around and say the same thing to like old Disney pirate movies.
Yeah. It's just a chain of influences.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, it's nice to know why Rare always falls back on pirates, certain aesthetics that actually help make the Donkey Kong universe a cohesive thing. I mean, it's not just us bullshitting. It actually feels like a real shared universe where Captain Black Eye, sure, he can sail up to Gulhaven Hall.
Yeah.
Sure, it's like...
There's a sense of authorship and a sense of universe. And with Greg at the helm of this game, I definitely feel that in this game. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like...
This felt like Donkey Kong Country 2 with humans.
You know how... I don't know how you guys felt about Wind Waker. Did you like that game?
The initial shock of it really put me off of it.
The visuals.
But then
I think we all experienced that.
Yeah, it's that one thing again where you try it out and you go, I see what you're getting at.
Right. Did you play that all, Amir? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of same thing. So for me, like, I got it because I'm kind of a Zelda completionist. I play... The only one I gave up on was Phantom Hourglass. No, Spirit Tracks, I gave up on that too. But when I realized that I really liked Wind Waker was when I finally got my sail and I set out on the open sea, and there was nothing but promise, and there was an island on the horizon and I could go there. And just saying that, I'm like getting goosebumps because I can see doing that in this game, and that like sense of it's the same thing when you started playing Pokemon Red in the 90s and you're like, I'm a kid setting out on an adventure. Yeah. Like, that's what this game is.
Donkey Kong Country. It's just I'm with my buddy, my girlfriend, whatever. We're going off on an adventure, and all of our friends are coming along with us. There's this sense of, it's like what I love about like Indiana Jones and like just the pure promise of the unseen horizon and having an experience that I could not personally have, but I get to experience in this video game. It's why I frown so much at these apocalyptic shoot 'em up fest, because where's the joy to be had in that?
They're so cynical.
They're so cynical, so dystopian. I like to have optimism. I have gotten to the point where cynicism is, much like Conan O'Brien, is my least favorite quality. There's so much negativity in the world. I don't play video games to have that. I play it to experience joy and wonder. And I get that with Rare. I get that, yes, with Nintendo. And that is why I'm a Rare fan. That's why we're probably all Rare fans.
Cynicism is unfortunate because I think it's the lazy person's depth.
It's why The Walking Dead is the such a massive hit. It's
high art for the masses.
It's the prestige drama for Middle America. Even though it's deeply cynical and it has nothing really to say except
it's a slog.
Humans are terrible.
Yeah, humans are terrible, and you will be miserable no matter how good you are. And
the worse you are, the more you'll succeed. Yeah. And
that's the slogan for Walmart, I think.
Sam Walden is now unsubscribing.
He was listening the whole time.
This is why, like, DK Vine, we're such outliers. This is why the Rare fan base, like, basically us in this room and Daniel, we're it at this point, you know?
Oh, that's not true. I
mean, as far as websites go.
There's probably a couple more. I don't want to slag off anyone who's
of course not. Of course, then there's the community that we've all generated.
Maybe the veterans, we could say that.
We've been around a while.
Around,
and of course then there's the communities on our sites. You know,
right.
So I'm speaking we in the royal sense, the grand sense of everybody listening, everybody part of this podcast right now, whether you're talking or you're listening.
So if you're listening to this, you're a real fan. My voice is going.
Not just a fan.
Well, good. Now Chad can shut up and I can talk.
Go for it.
So it was just the most mind-boggling experience. Like, they talked with us for 25 minutes, and a couple times I interjected, it's like, "Hey guys, they probably have a lot of stuff to do," and they were just like, "Oh no."
We were all kicked out of the building by security, and they walked out of the building with us to continue the conversation.
And that was for me. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, what? Oh, because you didn't have the.
I didn't have a pass. They're like, "Turn yours around." I'm like, I don't have one to turn around. You know, so.
But, like, we're talking with rare employees. How much more do you need?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Well, they probably didn't even know who they were.
No, they don't.
That was that one security guard.
They're hired guns. But it's just...
I think that it's more hired scowls, but...
I was just so amazed at how personable they were, how friendly, how they seemed generally enthused. Tell them about the map.
Oh, yeah, so, Stafford,
Maybe I should tell them about the map.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, DK Vine staffer Cameron Regal has been working long and hard he's been at this for a long time, this map. We've seen prototypes of it for a year or two now.
It was like an art project of his for a while.
And he finally finished it, printed it off on cardstock, and basically sent it to me. They arrived the day, like Friday before E3. It's
a map of the Donkey Kong universe.
It's a map of the Rare Archipelago.
Yeah.
And so, we can all argue about what the correct placement is. We're never going to completely suss it out. This is a pretty approximate depiction of how it probably pans out.
It's not to scale.
I could argue that the Isle Hags belongs over here above Timbers Island.
And Ghoulhaven Hall,
Yeah. Pantsland is spot on, though. It's a beautiful piece of work, and I'm definitely going to frame mine. But we gave one to Greg Males, and he...
Took one look at it.
At first, he didn't I don't think he understood at first, and then I think he saw Donkey Kong Island, and it all just clicked.
And he saw that, and then I pointed out, and over here's the Isle of Hags. And then, like 15 minutes later, I looked up at him, and he was just staring at it, not participating in the conversation. He was just absorbed, and something he said, it only now is like clicking in my head. He was like, oh, you know what this looks like? And he's like, it's kind of appropriate. They're making a pirate game full of islands.
Yeah.
And their entire life's work has been making games
bunch of islands.
Set on islands.
And this is what I was talking about, how it all fits together. Even if you don't subscribe to what we do, Donkey Kong Universe, you still have to see that shared aesthetic. And it's coming from guys like Greg Males. And I when we walked away from this, I remarked that, you never want to meet your idols because they're bound to disappoint. I did not feel that with these guys. I completely get why I love their games, because we love the same things. Yeah. It's not like they got lucky and made something that we like, but it turns out they have completely different interests. No, they're into the same things, and it's just so fulfilling to have that confirmed.
And I think they brought a really great cross section of people to discuss this game potentially with anyone who would listen. Joe in particular, he was, whenever there was a lull in the conversation, he would sort of volunteer an anecdote or sort of
jump in.
He jump started the conversation. Greg was there as the wise sage that we were all kind of glomming onto.
Greg was a little shy at times.
Yeah, it was so endearing. He's like the the samurai master. Like there is so much going on in his head, and you're sort of trepidatiously, you want to go in there and say, excuse me, Mr. Males. But he was so open. There was such a
Can I do your laundry, Mr. Males?
Yeah,
By the way, he is one fit dude. I don't want to come across as weird here. That guy is the biceps, man.
A lot of Connect Sports, I think.
What I got to start playing Connect Sports.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you guys, I've been playing Rivals for a while. case you want to take back that statement.
No, actually, you look in a lot better shape than I do.
Little known fact though, you were over 800 pounds before you started on Connect Sports.
that is very true.
You're on your deathbed, and now you're lean as hell.
That's
yeah.
Well done, Rare.
Yeah. So I think enough gushing about. By the way, we got their business cards, and they're awesome.
Yeah, their business cards are pretty cool.
Cooper and Amber are right in the middle. I mean, Joanna Dark is forefront, but
but yeah, let's wrap it up with final thoughts.
Well, what about Captain Bones?
Oh shit, we got to talk about Captain Bones. We did get shirts. They are pretty amazing.
They went and got shirts for us.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. We didn't know there were shirts. We
didn't ask for any swag.
Was Joe?
Joe.
Yeah, Joe ran upstairs, grabbed shirts for us.
I think they were like, holy shit, we've never had such enthusiastic fans in front of us.
Yeah.
What do we do?
It was a mind-blowing experience. They were so welcoming to just our endless gushing.
Not literally.
No, we weren't like...
It was close.
Yeah, I didn't like spurt an artery. But...
I just couldn't stop coming.
But yeah, Captain Bones. Let's briefly touch on that.
He is their social media mascot. And what did Platonic have? Poop?
Yeah, P-O-O-P.
Yeah. And we haven't seen much of Poop lately.
No,
but,
Poop is a pre-Kickstarter artifact, I think.
Pre-Andy Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Bones, he is a life-size skeleton they bought. I don't think he's a real skeleton. I don't think he's a real human corpse.
They said he's like a science class model, like a life-size skeleton that they dressed up in pirate fatigues, and
they shipped him to the U.S.
I think I heard this right. They are taking him around with them to pubs and stuff over the course of the show.
Yep.
I asked if they bought him a plane ticket and they just flew him out. Because how would that work with TSA? But no, and he is answering questions on social media, and we think it's Lee Love Day.
Yeah, it seems likely.
It's very Uncle Tusk-esque.
Yeah.
If you're around for Uncle Tusk, or if you can use the Wayback Machine to research Uncle Tusk, you'll know what we're talking about.
Uncle Tusk was, honestly, while he wasn't, like, I didn't write into Tusk as much as I did Scribes, but I think I enjoyed reading Tusk more because he was such a dick to everyone that wrote in.
I talked to Amir about this because he's the big Killer Instinct guy.
Yeah.
Whenever I think about Killer Instinct characters, which I do because they're rare characters, I always think of Tusk as Uncle Tusk, thanks to Lee Loveday, and they completely either made the character more famous in my eyes or ruined him, depending on how you want to look at it. But from what I've seen of Captain Bones, he's just the same classic rare humor is back.
Witty as hell.
Yeah, and he's already on a roll.
We did ask if Captain Bones was going to be in the game, and I don't think we got.
I think they said not yet.
He's not in the game yet.
But I said, that's Mr. Pants started off as a internet mascot too, and he got his own game.
Yeah. And it's early days yet. We don't know how far they are in the game. It's certainly looking great for wherever it is.
There's no release date, and we're just gonna have to be patient. But it's a pirate game with Greg Mayles. I mean,
if the fact that it doesn't have monkeys in it, or the fact that it doesn't have a bear and a bird in it disappoints you,
there's gonna be monkeys in it.
I'm sure there will actually.
There's parrots.
There's parrots.
Yeah, there are.
There's a bear in the trifecta.
On this new T-shirt, they put the parrot on there, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Flying.
Yeah, so it's like, there's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of cynicism. I would just ask those of you feeling those things.
Keep the ketchup in the bottle where it belongs. That's all we're saying.
Take a step back. Really think about the potential that this game has and how we know very little. So don't prejudge it on that.
And yes, we're starfuckers. We met these guys. We're gushing. We're out here at the Xbox, presentation. Yes, we might be biased.
But
no. Because if I was sitting at home in Virginia and I saw this, I would be just as enthusiastic.
But it wasn't like a payola thing where the fact that we met them, we're now going to promote it.
Yeah.
I was gushing about it when we were walking away from the conference.
But I think they actually assuaged...
Again, not literally gushing.
They assuaged some of our concerns, and they sort of made us double down on that enthusiasm.
These guys get it. We have no reason to be worried, and we're telling you guys... We're not telling you how to think, but I guess we kind of are. You don't have any reason to be worried either.
Right.
This is Rare. Rare is back. Phil Spencer. They were gushing about Phil. They love Phil too.
Yeah.
Why am I saying gushing all the time?
I don't know. I think you just want to eat some gushers.
I got fruit snacks over there, but they don't gush.
Oh damn, we need to get some.
I got sharks and dinosaurs over there.
Okay, well that's there were sharks in this thing.
Yeah, and maybe we'll see dinosaurs tomorrow. Tricky.
That's
Star
true.
Fox and Diddy Kong Racing.
We all believe in Kevin Callahan.
Anyway, so
let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Amir.
Yeah.
Yeah, super stoked. Rare replay's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait to see more of Sea of Thieves. Yeah, I'm really excited about the possibilities. You know, like games like Rust and DayZ. I know it's not like that, but it just has the idea of Rare's building this universe for you to play in.
He's married to Beyonce, right?
I think so. I believe so. I think they have a child. Yeah, but just that they're building this world in this pirate universe, and it has endless possibilities. Like the game is so much fun. They mentioned because just the player interactions. You have the possibility to make someone walk the plank on your ship if you know like. I don't know if there's mutiny. Who knows
there's got to be mutiny.
Yeah, the options are going to give us. So
and he did mention though that like
I can finally have a mutiny against you, Chad.
And it's not going to be like a quick time event where you go up to the plank and say press X to make him walk the plank. No, it's just like
there's a plank here.
And you have a sword, and if you want someone to walk off of it, you make him do that. You know, it's like it seems to be organic in the game.
Very sandbox, yeah.
Tons of organic sandbox experiences, and they said when they were playtesting it in the studio, that was the most fun moments. Is just when people let loose.
Oh, I can totally see it.
Yeah, so
they seem so enthused working on this.
Yeah,
game.
Yeah. They mentioned that
they were beaming.
Mm-hmm. I asked them if so does it just immediately turn into Lord of the Flies, and they all started laughing.
Yeah.
So they're like that was an acknowledgement.
And Chad was like, I made them laugh.
Yeah,
and he gushed some more.
I did. Yeah, it was all gushery.
Yeah.
So
LA is flooded now. By the way, there was so much gushing going on.
Well, hey, at least they have something to drink.
Arizona Bay.
So positive, I would say.
Yes, totally, 100% positive. Yeah, and yeah, positive. I can't wait.
Even though you didn't see any new Killer Instinct, you're positive.
I know season 3 might be here, but yeah,
There's a little
I'm so
clip
positive.
of it at the start.
Yeah,
so that was you're like, it's all worth it.
I did glance over at you because I was like, oh, there you go.
Yeah, nice. Did you spot any new characters?
No. Yeah, I don't know.
Cinder.
I don't know. I think Iron Galaxy is here. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Killer Instinct. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Well, that'll be maybe a show floor thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. God, my voice. Yeah. Steve, what do you reckon?
Okay, so I wish I could just go back forever and just put in an endless loop when they revealed the trailer, just from the feedback of the fans when they first revealed the Sorry, I've now forgotten the name because it's not Rare Rewind.
Rare replay.
Rare Replay. As soon as that was just put on the docket,
Rare regurgitation.
And apologies, we have a lawn being mowed in the background.
Oh, it's not somebody with a chainsaw coming to murder us.
Yeah, nor Conquer.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to see everyone cheer for those characters, except Darcy Prom, because, obviously. But it was like a moment of just cathartic energy in the room. Like, the tension was just
we were right.
Electric.
All these years,
Exactly.
we were right.
And then for them to follow it up, like, we're not done yet, here's a pirate game. Like, that was just like, oh my god, like, does this get any better?
A pirate game, people. It's a fucking pirate game.
Yeah.
Pirates! We celebrate Talk Like a Pirate Day because of Rare. Oh my god.
Yes.
And also Mr. Pants Day. You guys need to check in for that. That's November 15th.
November 15th. Why did you pick that day? Is that when it came out?
That's when It's Mr. Pants was released.
All right.
There we go.
Well, Cock Day, of course, February 13th, so gotta celebrate that.
Yeah. Get out.
Even though that's not a Rare game, so you don't have to celebrate it.
Right, but we all can rock around the Cobb Cock Rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Um,
That's the T-shirt. It's monogrammed on the front.
right. So we're all pretty enthusiastic about it. We had a different experience than most of the Rare fans out there.
We're sorry about the virtual radio silence today. It's really hard to report news.
Yeah, the access out here is sort of middling at best.
Yeah.
We're all sort of like refreshing our Wi-Fi signals to get them to actually get something for 30 seconds before dropping off. There's a lot of competition for signal. So it remains to be seen whether or not we'll be able to do stuff throughout the day or just drop stuff at the end of the show or at the end of each day. But we'll do what we can to continue a steady stream on social media at the very least.
Yeah, so we're not done talking about Rare. Normally we have these extremely bifurcated. We do the Microsoft episode, we do the Nintendo episode. There's still more to talk about because we're going to be playing Rare Replay, Rare Rewind, Rare Replay, Rare Regurgitation, Rare...
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's the last thing that I'm going to do playing this game. It's going to,
Yeah. So we will be playing this on the show floor. We're going to be chatting, hopefully, with more Rare staff members, getting some more inside scoops for you, the people. So we're not done talking about Rare. We don't know exactly how we're going to structure. We might have mini episodes, as we mentioned before. We'll see what happens. We're always on a time crunch. We're looking at the time right now. We got to run here soon.
Yeah, there's a showcase event that we all got to get to. So
we got to edit this. Luckily, it won't take long because we're all in the same room.
Yeah, probably get like an Uber over there just to not have to hoof it.
Yeah, but all the same, stay with us. We have more to talk about as far as Rare goes, and of course, if you're interested in Nintendo instead, that's tomorrow.
All right. So thanks and.
Thanks, guys, for being on the show.
Thanks for having us on.
It's a pleasure meeting you today. It was so much fun talking to you all day long.
Yeah. This is what's been missing in my life.
having actual people in real life to talk about this bullshit with, it's so life affirming.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, is that the right word?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's at that scale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it makes my life not feel worthless.
and you're both welcome back on the show anytime. Just say the word.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So yeah, cheers.
Later.
This has been a File 2 production.
Que rico.
Hello.
Starting off on a positive note.
Yeah. Hello and oh Jesus, my
That sickness
voice.
really got you.
Yeah. Hello and all right.
That's every attempt I've had with a chick picking him up. Every single time.
I'll have to ask my manager. Hello and welcome to the Kongversation. My voice is dead, but I'm Chad McCanna.
I'm Hyle Russell. My voice.
I never could be